It sort of just happens, and suddenly you realize the cloud looks like a big hand with fat fingers. Now it looks like a catcher's mitt or a big soft TV set, like that. Anyhow, went the right after the Fairway ran off with that look on her face, like, what was he doing with my poor little boy, stealing him away in the wagon?
Wait, what?
What I do is lie on the floor under my bed, where you can just barely see the bed springs and stuff because it's so dark. And before long, I'm somewhere else, sort of floating. And it's so cool and empty in there, you don't have to think about anything. You're nothing. You're nobody. Nothing matters. You're not even there. Time out. Except this time, I can't stay as long as I'd like to, because Graham is knocking at the door going, Maxwell? Max, are you in there? Please answer me, dear. It's important. Yeah, right. But I wedge out from under the bed. There's getting to be less and less room in there, and I dust myself off and open the door. There's no lock, but Graham has this thing about waiting until I say come in. She makes a real big deal about not intruding. Maxwell, she says, and she makes this little step inside my room. I can tell she'd rather not be there. She makes this face because the place is dark and messy and probably smells like my socks or whatever. Max, dear, I'm sorry to bother you. You know I never come into the basement. But I just got a call from Glen Avery and I think it's important. Uh-oh, I'm thinking. Now the fair Glen is calling up my Graham, probably to report a great hulking beast that lives in the cellar. And I close up inside, waiting for the worst. She called to say how sorry she was, Graham is saying. Huh? Well, I guess she came to pick up her little boy, is that right? You and Kevin were making friends? Making friends? What a wet idea that is. But Graham gets her feelings hurt pretty easy, so I don't actually say that. What I say is, yeah, I guess so. Graham is uneasy. I can see her eyes flaying nervously around the room like she's crossing the border into a really foreign country. This is as good a place to any to mention that even though Graham is my grandmother, she doesn't look like a granny. She looks more like a mother to me, because she was, as she always says, a mere child myself when my real mother was born. Well, I get the impression poor Gwen wasn't expecting seeing you looking so big, and now she thinks she's offended you. Does that make any sense? I guess so. You know her, huh? Oh my, yes, says Graham. Gwen was a good friend of your mother's. They were both pregnant at the same time. Then later on, you and little Kevin went to the same daycare. Did you know that? I give a shrug because I don't really like Graham to know how much I remember way back about then. Graham is saying, she said she especially wanted me to tell you this, Max. She said she's delighted that you and Kevin are going to be making friends. That's the word she used. Delighted. And she's inviting you to supper. First thing, without thinking, I say, do I have to? Graham reaches out, puts her hand on my shoulder, real light and featherly. And you can see how nervous she is just to touch me, and how it makes her uncomfortable to have to look up at me. Because did I mention I'm a lot bigger than Graham? Bigger than Graham too, bigger than most people. It's true. Graham says, she feels bad about how she treated you, Maxwell, and she wants to make it up to you. You don't have to go, but it would be the right thing to do. It was no big deal, I say. She just ran away is all. I guess I scared her. It wasn't you, Graham says. No. Well, then who was it that scared her? Now she's got her tongue stuck. And you can see her swallowing at her throat like her mouth is dry. I'll just leave that to Gwen, she says. She's quite a remarkable young woman, you know. Raising that poor little boy all in all. He's not a poor boy, I say. You should hear him talk. I think the rest of him is so small because his brain's so big. Yes, says Graham. Well. Graham is always saying that. Well, like it means something. Which I guess it does for her. Anyhow, I agree to have supper with Freak and his mom, even though the idea of it makes me feel tensed up, like there's a hand inside my stomach. And the hand is, making a fist. It turns out not to be so bad. The fair Gwen, right away, she's beaming at me, bouncing around the kitchen, talking a mile a minute, so fast the words kind of smush together. So, Susan, excuse me, your grandmother mentioned that your mom and I were pals. It is until she got married, I never could abide by that man. Always thought he was crazy and scary. And I said, okay, you won't be offended? It's like this delay while I sort it out, and then I go, yeah, Gran told me. And the stuff about her not knowing my father and thinking he was sick in the head, I decide no comment is the best way to go. You were the cutest little baby, Gwen says. I remember like it was yesterday. We were all of us living over in the tenements those days because the rent was so cheap and we were all just starting out. Freak is on the floor digging through this packing boxes for pots and pans and stuff. He's almost inside this box. All you can see is his funny little rear end sticking out. You'd think he was maybe 2 years old. That's how small he is. Until you notice where his leg brace makes a lump in his pants. From the inside the box, he goes, "Hey, Gwen, leave the guy alone, huh? You're going spastic." "Am I?" Gwen asks. She's at the counter going through the drawers looking for spoons or whatever. "Sorry, Max. That is, I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot. It's just, you know." Freak's head pops out of the box and he's got this wicked know-it-all grin. "What she means is you're the spit image of your old man." Gwen says, "Kevin, please." And her voice is real small, like she's embarrassed. "Yeah, I say. Everybody says that." "They do?" I shrug. Is it really such a big deal for a boy to look like his father? Which is typical butthead thinking. Because of course it's a big deal if your father happens to be in prison, which everybody in town knows about. It's not like there's any secret what he did or why he's there, except that everybody acts like it should be a secret, and the bigger I grow, the more I look like my old man, the worse it gets. "You really knew him," I say? "I mean, him and my mom when they were together?" "Oh, not very well," Gwen says. She's looking for an ice to slice open a pack of hot dogs. "I never saw much of your mom after they got married. He made it difficult for your mother to have any friends." There's a knife on the table, so I pick it up and hand it to the fair boy. She doesn't flinch away, and I decide she's okay. She's really pretty cool. "So," Freak is saying, "when do we eat? My fuel cells are depleted." Supper is great. The fair Gwen makes this really tasty potato salad with spices and stuff. Way better than the mushy stuffed graham eggs. And we have hot dogs fried in a pan with the buns toasted up buttered cream, just the way I like. 2 kinds of relish, 3 kinds of mustard, and red onions cut up real small. We sit out in the backyard eating from paper plates, and she tells robot stories that are so strange and funny. I'm laughing like a maniac. And I'm choking. And Frank is pounding me on the back. "Expel the object, Freak cells. Regurgitate, you big one." And he gives me another thump and I cough up this yucky mess. But I'm still laughing so hard my nose is running. What a goon. Except it really is funny, me trying to sneeze a hot dog through my nose, and we're both laughing like total morons. "This is great," Gwen says, looking at Freak and me. "I'm so glad we decided to move back, you know? I feel like we're all getting a fresh start." It's time to go home. Graham gets nervous if I'm not back before dark, and everything seems real great. Just like Gwen says, except when I lie down on my bed, it hits me. Boom. And I'm crying like a baby. And the really weird thing is, I'm happy. I'd like to thank you all for listening to this chapter, and if you happen to be listening to this chapter on your own, I would be happy to reward you with an Ohana Pass if you come in the next day to school, has to be the next day, and you say the following words to me. I will get you a free Ohana Pass. The code word for tomorrow to get your free Ohana Pass is Ohana Forever. Say those 2 words to me, you shall get your pass.
Wait, what that was about?
You're such a Rizzler.
That was so risky.
Alright, go ahead and grab your packets. We'll do this and then you guys can have.
I look homely. Exactly.
Okay.
Drink a grimace shake.
You guys can tell me what this is.
We're let leave.
You're gonna make my vlog so
Drink
famous.
a grimace shake, boy.
Omar, shut up.
Wait, can we do the
How about you drink a grimace
What?
shake? That's why I have more subscribers than you. Me and Linnea have 17 subscribers.
What?
Oh my
What
god.
the suck?
The
The freaking pod juice.
Well, that's
oh my
sad.
god.
Rio, stop recording. Freaking pod juice.
What? I'm not recording.
Stop being a pod juice. I'm gonna go get my pod juice.
Of course, the main character's best friend has to die.
Alright, what would you
Right,
say
the
are
main
some
character.
topics
Oh my stop. I'm the
of
main
chapters
character.
1 through
I'm
5?
not felon. You got 2 subscribers.
You're being sus in Among Us.
Friendship! Ding, 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 ding! That was the number 1.
I would say how
Not
people's actions will affect other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, with like his dad being in prison
Yep.
and him looking like him.
So kind of like your family, right? Your family and growing up. Yeah. Both of them were right on. Did you guys write that down?
what?
Yeah, it looks like this one.
Oh. Okay. Oh my stop.
We're gonna say friendships and then we're gonna
You're
say
weird. Okay.
growing up,
Not
family,
Sigma.
kind of the things that happen to you affect you, right? Anything else you can think of as far as
Not
topics?
that's being sus. Jealousy? That's being sus in Among Us.
Why do I keep getting
What
whiter?
about with jealousy? What about like
know.
differences?
Old pals.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I look bad like that.
Yes.
Wait.
Friendships, differences, growing up, family. Is there any topics about judgment in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Sigma.
topics.
You dropped my package.
Friendship.
You fucking
How's that
monkey.
my fault?
That's your fault. You literally punched me.
Family, differences, judgment.
No, that was
You are going to, we'll collect packets and see you in class on Thursday. So you're gonna keep up. The author believes what?
Oh my. Oscar, can you stop looking at my vlog? They're very disturbing.
Yes. Yes. All these are like exactly what it
Girl, you thought you ate. Give me that plate.
no one's giving me the
So
plate.
the author believes that,
I am.
so kind of putting those two together, that we
Put it over here
shouldn't
because
judge
Oscar
people,
was trying to get weird.
right? We shouldn't judge people based on their differences.
Oh.
I feel like you shouldn't judge people because of their,
I think I'm gonna judge Omar because he's different. Omar is a bad difference.
I agree.
other people.
Yeah, Omar.
I feel like people shouldn't be biased even if they can't like do stuff that other people can't. A disability just makes you have a new ability.
Agree.
Omar,
That is so good. You guys are so smart.
I say it since we just around and see stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, probably he'd be
probably
really good at hide and seek.
no, I didn't.
Hide and seek.
A lot
Yes,
of white
I
stuff, that's
agree.
what you have. I didn't put that in here.
Alright, so number 2, the author believes that we shouldn't
You still
judge
have the
people
nerd
based on their differences. You guys got that
The
one.
nerd.
Good.
Yeah.
Number 3, your theme statement.
Why is my desk like this? I didn't put my desk like
I don't
this.
know, Anna.
Your theme statements. So it's what we just said.
Girl, you thought you ate.
Don't judge people
Wait, I can make drinks.
based on what? Their differences.
By their past.
Their past.
Stop. Why do you keep calling me?
Friendship comes in different forms. All those would be great theme statements.
I need to plug my charger in. What?
What?
And you were judging me because I'm short.
Anna, that's not my fault.
Alright, you're gonna keep
That's for when you're looking in the back.
and you guys have about 8 minutes
Omar.
till we go to lunch. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
Go.